Good evening and welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ. I almost feel like I want to say scrolling with Russ because we're going to be scrolling tonight, but it's not. It's Let's Talk Shop with Russ. So I've got some guys coming up next week. For instance, Zach Manring from Southern Junior is going to be our guest and show us some stuff, and we'll be talking to him. And then I got some others. So I'm your fill-in. I'm sorry. I can't do any better. I wished I could. I wished I could have somebody on here that was better, like DeResta or. But anyway, you got me tonight. So, but I thank you for being here. Thank you very much. And we had like 14 or 16 out there in the chat before the show even started, and I appreciate that. And the thumbs ups are already starting to come in. So if y'all want to give me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. All y'all are out there. So we only got 7 right now, and there's 18 of y'all. So I need 18 thumbs ups if you don't mind. So anyway, but I appreciate y'all out. Be Happy Woodworking, Driveway Workshop. Jim Bashir's, you need to get your butt over here on the chat. There should be plenty of room. Yeah, Jim Bashir's, if you want over here, there's plenty of room. Somebody will send you the link. So, and yes, I have a computer over here so I can watch the chat when I'm scrolling. So actually, I do what?
I got it sent to him.
Actually, I need to kind of like zoom in a little bit more. Oh, there. Beautiful. So I can read it without my glasses. James Parker goes thumbs up, thumbs up, so thumbs up. Yes, I will show that because that's funny.
Mash it. Mash it.
That was funny. He put a whole bunch of thumbs up in the chat. So thank you for that. Okay, so let me go ahead and do my few announcements, which are a lot of announcements actually, but and then we'll go down the panel, and maybe that'll give the guys that want to join us a chance to join us before we and I made a cool little pattern, at least I think, to cut out. I'm gonna turn it into like a sign. So Mom is love. I made this up this afternoon, playing around. I was going to do another one. When I did the clock on Twitch, and I still haven't finished that clock. I've been working on my roof, so I hadn't had a chance. This came from Twitch. So, I think I got upside down. Yep. I went in here and filled out this area with the hat and the horn and all kind of stuff in there. So this will be cut out now too. And I also thought about trying by going back and printing the pattern again and just laying it over the top of this so I can get alignment and then cutting this one out that way. So that might be something I try too. But anyway, this is the one I was working on. I was going to cut the other one that had all the intricate stuff in the center out. And I went like, no, it's Mother's Day. I need to make a Mother's Day pattern for people because some people use my patterns on Mother's Day. So this is what I came up with. So I'll be working on that tonight. Okay, so let me go through and talk about my wonderful sponsors first, and they are Devobal Technologies for web design. Let me get them up here a little closer for me. For web design, development, and hosting, visit devobal.com. And FastCap, innovative product for the professional woodworker. Go to fastcap.com. Rockler, 60 years in woodworking. Create with confidence. Visit rockler.com. Bearwood Supply Company, your best choice for hard-to-find woodworking supplies. Go to bearwood.com. And Clean Spore, the sandpaper specialist at woodworkingshop.com. And Seiko, the scroll saw specialist at seiko.com. My wonderful Seiko scroll saw is what I'll be using tonight, along with the Pegasus blades that I get from Bearwood Supply. So there are my sponsors. Okay. So first off, Ken Moon. He couldn't be with us tonight. He's sick. He's I think he's got a sinus but he said or a cold, but he's not feeling good at all. He told me that earlier, but he got his prize. And is Paul John's Life out there in the chat yet? Because Paul, I checked on today before I got on the show, came out here, and it said your prize that had been delivered to your house. So if y'all see Paul John's Life, He should have got his from last week's show. And the reason Ken Moon got one, and y'all need to, you know, some of these guys that we have that we know that are in the makers community are absolutely so fantastic. One of them is Sterling Davis. Now, Sterling already has, he's got some of these from the same place I got mine. So already had some of those screwdriver things that I gave away. So he said it in the chat, and then I contacted him. He said, yeah. He said, give it to Ken Moon. Ken Moon will love it. And so I sent the one that Sterling Davis actually won last week to Ken Moon. So that answers that question. Ken didn't actually win it. Sterling Davis won it, but he said send it to Ken Moon, and I did per his request. So, yeah, so isn't that great? I mean, he was like, hey, I've got a couple of these already. Send it to Ken Moon. So Sterling's a great guy. I enjoy being around him. Just a wonderful guy. So, but Paul's, John's life, like I said, I entered the tracking number, and it said that you got yours. Michelle Marcoux, who's never got his stuff that I sent him, poor guy. Dickinson Hoffman, James Parker, Brian Warner, all y'all are out there in the chat. I appreciate that very much. Okay, the other thing that I want to, the first newsletter has went out. So those of you have subscribed should have gotten the first newsletter already. So I think some on the panel have already start shaking your heads if you've already got the first newsletter. Yep. A lot of you already got the first newsletter. So
there's some cool discounts and stuff in there too.
Yeah, it's going to take me a while. I want to get it better and better, but this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so it's a learning curve, trust me. But I think it looked pretty good. My wife looked at it, and she said she thought it looked good, and I can run stuff by her from time to time, and if she says it looks good, I know damn good and well it looks good. So I'm not going to argue with her, that's for sure. So anyway, so the first newsletter out. And the only a couple of things that I want, and we're talking about the newsletter. If you haven't heard, I have a monthly newsletter that is coming out every month. And all you have to do is subscribe. And you say, well, how do you subscribe? Well, here we're going to do a screen share, and I'm going to show you how you subscribe. Can you guys tell me if y'all can see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So all you need to do is go across the bar over here to newsletter and click on it. And this will tell you a little bit about the newsletter. I'm going to change this more and put some more stuff on here. Trust me. I just haven't had a chance, but it's to subscribe. Click here. And you fill out this information, your email address, first and last. These are the three required email, first name and last name. The rest of them are not. And hit subscribe to list, and boom, off you will go. So very plain and simple. Newsletter on my website. And I worked on that one this week and got it out, and I'm very proud of it. And I'll start working. I'm going to immediately start working on next month's right now. So the other thing that I would like to talk about is here. I'll go back and stop sharing. If I can find myself back on here.
Yeah, you're on.
No, if I can find myself back in flipping back through screens, is that I am so very happy and very excited and very proud as a grandfather. My granddaughter, she spent some summers, and she also I used to pick her up after school. Michaela has, after her school, she would come here, and she asked me one day, she goes, you know, Papa, and when she was old enough, she goes, I go to the house and I don't like sitting in the house in the afternoon by myself. She goes, is there any way you could pick me up and I could come over and we could be in your shop? And I said, well, heck yeah. So I used to pick her up and bring her home after school, and we used to spend some time out here, and I taught her how to scroll saw, and she used to sit around the scroll saw. Well, that has continued. She's now Michaela's got to be 25 years old or so. Oops, I hope she don't get mad at me for telling how old she is. But anyway, and she has a baby, but she has continued to scroll saw all these years. And she now has, see if I can go back over here and do this again. A scroll saw page on Facebook.
Yay.
It's Michaela
Right.
Michaela Scroll Saw Shop. This is her Facebook page. This is my granddaughter. And she just gave birth about a month or so ago, 2 months ago, to my first great grandson. But she makes all kinds of stuff. This is some of the stuff she's working on. This is some of the stuff that she has done. If the keys are missing, I've gone a fishing. Let's click on a few of these.
Does she do her own designs too, Russ?
No, she usually either gets them from me, I design stuff for them, or she finds patterns.
She does nice work, though.
She is very good. She is very good.
I think we have a future guest here.
Yeah.
She'll be on some night.
I am going to try. The problem is, as of right now, is that she has the baby, and she will not leave that baby. Let me tell you. She's a very protective mother, and she's going to be a fantastic mother. See, she put out here, this was her first post. She said, "Hey, guys, I'm starting back up scroll sawing. I can make a variety of things like props for my photograph friends, decor for the kitchen, bedrooms, Mother's Day and Father's Day's gifts. Teacher gifts, anything, just message me." So, but this is her little Facebook page, and she is starting off. So, yes, I am a very, very proud and happy grandfather, because she's following along in it and continuing to do it. So if you go over there and like her page, y'all guys that are on Facebook, she'll probably check you out, look back to see if you're a friend of mine or whatever, but go over and like her page. I'm sure she would enjoy that if she got a blow up over there on her page from all of my followers over to hers. So, but she's starting to get back into it. She's right now between a rock and a hard place. She wants to make some extra money. She needs some extra money, and the fact that she's got the baby, so she don't want to go and get she don't want that baby in a daycare. She wants to take care of it, which I'm very proud of her. And the way, let me tell you, the way that daycares are nowadays, I don't think I would want my child in any daycare anymore. They're few, and you would have to know somebody,
Yeah.
To use those anymore. It's getting pathetic. And so she wants to stay home, take care of the child, but she wants to make some money. She's tried not Amway, but she's tried a couple of different avenues or whatever, and then she decided, well, heck, I'll go. But her scroll saw broke, so I brought it home and I ordered the part and fixed it and everything, and she's got it back now. And so she said, well, I'll just try. She said, I did pretty good and was selling some stuff off my scroll saw. I'll just try to start selling scroll saw stuff again. And I said, well, hey, that's a good way. Go for it.
Hey, Russ, what does Michaela call you? Is it Grandpa Russ, you said?
Oh, she calls me Papa.
Papa? Oh,
Yeah, she just calls me Papa.
I love it.
Yeah, she just calls me Papa. But all my grandkids call me Papa. But she has my first great-grandchild. My very first great-grand. His name's Carter. He's probably, like I said, he's probably in the neighborhood of, I don't know if he's 3 months old yet, but he's probably getting close to 3 months old. So anyway, support her. Go over there and check out her page and give her a thumbs up. Tell her you like her work and everything. It'll blow her mind away. She'll love that to death. And I am going to try to get her on the show. She has good cable or good internet over at her house, so we could do it from there. Or like my wife said, my wife wants to be with Carter, so I could have her come over, and my wife could watch Carter and give them some time together while she comes out here in the shop and is in the shop with me during the show. So or her husband could come and help with Carter or whatever. So we'll work it out. I'll get her on the show one night. I've asked her a couple of times, and she's very shy. She's kind of like said, "Nah, I don't think I will." But I'll talk her into it before it's all over with. I'll tell her it'll be a great promotion for her scroll saw stuff. So I'll work it in something like that. So, but yes,
tell her I'll behave.
Jim Bashir is wanting to know the name again of her Facebook page, which is Michaela's Gross Sauce Shop, and the Nantic River. I know I said that wrong. With Chris Nealon, he gave you $10.
I seen that Niantic. I call it Niantic River Woodcrafting.
Niantic.
Huh?
I figure I said it wrong. Yeah.
How did I say it?
Oh, Niantic.
Niantic. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, you're saying it right. As a New Englander, I'll tell you, you're saying it right. Niantic.
Okay, Niantic. Okay, thank you very much.
Titanic. Just like Titanic.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that so very, very much. Wow. Thank you very, very much. I mean, everything that I get, anything that y'all send me or any kind of I can honestly tell you where it's going to go. It's for prizes back for y'all guys. And when I say that, I was just looking. Let me get over here. Oh, I think I've already messed it up. Jeez. All right. Leave it alone. When I say that is because what I'll use it for is yes, I can get the prizes from the sponsors and stuff like that. That's not a problem. But like when FastCap, they send me like 10 2P10 kits or the little drill sets that I gave away last week. I've got another 6 of them to give away. Okay. I have to pay the postage. So it comes out of my pocket to pay the postage. So stuff like that, when y'all give that, it's not like I'm burning up anything and buying a lot of tools or whatever. I use it to do, help supplement that cost because that comes out of my pocket. And hey, it's no big deal. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't enjoy it. And I'm not complaining in any way, shape, or form, just to let you know. It's just that everything that you send, if people send me that money, that's what it goes back for, is to help supplement the cost of running things as far as the prizes when I send them and shipping and stuff like that. So I can handle the wood and stuff like that. It's just when I have to pay for the shipping, yeah, it comes out of my pocket. So, and you wouldn't think it would be any big deal, but shipping is not that cheap, especially depending on how you want to send it. It could cost anywhere from $6 to $10 to ship. I think it cost me like $7 a piece to ship those 2 things to Ken Moon and to Paul John's Life. So, I mean, that's $14. Well, $14 is $14. I mean, look at it that way. So, not complaining. I wouldn't do it if I didn't want to. And I'm not. And if I got no money whatsoever, you're not going to hear me complain, and I won't complain because it's something that I want to do for y'all. I'm having a good time and I'm doing it. So it's just, if y'all would like to, then feel more than welcome. And I would appreciate it very much to make donations. Yes. Thank you. I would appreciate that very much, but don't feel obligated. I'm not begging for your money, and I'm not, that's just not the way I am. But if you feel like you wouldn't mind sending me a couple of bucks to help promote things and get this thing along, then I would appreciate it very much. Okay, enough about that. We've been talking for the last 30 minutes, maybe not 15 minutes at least. So let's go down the line and everybody introduce themselves. First, let's go with Brenda.
I thought it was Debbie.
Or Darlene.
No, they're not here tonight. I've been a little out of commission and haven't been able to round them up. But I am Brenda G of Brenda G's Designs. And you can find me all over the internet as Brenda G's Designs on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Etsy, and Patreon. And I am an eclectic crafter.
Very good. Let's move on to Chris.
Hey guys, Chris here at the Old Cranky Workshop. You find me on Facebook and YouTube, and soon to be the new website. I saw the rough draft that I won from Devobal Technologies. They showed me the rough draft this past week. Looking good. Hopefully it'll be up and running in the next few weeks. I'll look forward to it, and I'll post it everywhere.
Cool. Real quick before we go on to John, Patrick's workshop is out there in the chat. Thank you, Patrick. Mike Fulton is out there in the chat. Thank you for being there. TJ's Woodworking Shop, Driveway Wood Shop with Jim Shears, Jim Parker. They're all out there in the chat. And Mr. John Schaffner.
Evening, y'all. John Schaffner here, old Central New York, where it's finally dried up and sunny. You can find me on Facebook, and if you got nothing better to do, you can check out my YouTube channel as well. Back to you, Mr. Russ.
Thank you. And then Miss Katie.
Hi there. My name's Katie Dotson. You can find me on Facebook, whining about whatever it is I had to do today.
Whining. You don't normally whine. You just tell us.
Well, I was complaining. It wasn't really whining. It was something else, because I went and got a pickup load of hay, and 4 of the bales are different. They're kind of special, and they weigh about 60 pounds. And I got 3 of the 60. Getting them off the truck is no big deal.
Moving them afterwards.
But I got 3 of the 60-pound bales off the truck, and I realized they had given me the wrong stuff, and so I had to get it back on the truck. Yeah, and 60-pound bale, that weighs almost half of what I do. And I said a lot of ugly words.
I'll bet. Have you got that glass on top of that table yet?
No.
Okay. We will talk to you in a little bit. Al, go ahead, Al.
I was going to say 60 pounds, Katie, is 60 pounds. But yeah, you made your point. Twice as much. Al Forte from Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop on YouTube, and Kilroy 79763 on Twitch. Search for me all over the place, Kilroy 79763, and you'll find me. Anyway, thanks for having me here.
You're welcome. And I just got to point something out. Mike Fulton just gave $5. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that very, 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 very much. Thank you. Wow. I am blessed, so very blessed to have a bunch of friends, not only on the panel, but out there in the chat, and that support me and do things like that. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Paul.
Hi there. Paul Corliss from Paul's Messy Workshop. That's Paul's Messy Workshop on YouTube, Instagram, and .com, but .com isn't worth much. And I just had to show Russ what he caused me to do.
Uh-oh.
I have a scroll saw. I have a Hegner scroll saw that I've had for about 24 years. And the other day was the first time I ever took it off 90 degrees. And it's all Russ's fault. Because
it looks good.
I saw him make a bowl on his Scrolling with Russ show. And if you guys haven't turned into Scrolling with Russ, make sure you do. It's on Twitch on Wednesday nights at 7:30. And now all I got to do is glue it together and figure out how to make it look like a bowl.
Cool. That's awesome. That is really awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to see it finished.
I don't know how. I was amazed that my scroll saw went off 90 degrees.
Oh, it'll go. It'll go. And then Shane and Shelley, how are y'all doing tonight?
We're doing really wonderful, and we're enjoying this spring because we live in North Dakota, and so spring is like 2 days and summer is like 3 days, and then the rest is winter, so we're having a good time. But thanks for having us here, Russell, and hi everybody. My name is Shelley Cole. Many of you know me as Mom. I have the YouTube channel, Know What Mom Knows. Be sure to check it out, because I'm announcement in the next couple weeks here with the update on the awareness, on the Sawdust Awareness Challenge. And if you're not sure what that's about, you can look at the original announcement on March 17th. There's a video up on my channel that talks about the challenge. And yes, stay tuned to that sawdust. It's important. Be aware of it. Here's my handsome husband.
Hi, everybody. I'm Shane. You can find me on all your social media networks under Shane's Hobby Shop. I even got a website with Devobal. It's shane'shobbyshop.com. Go check that out. We got some free plans in there for you. The project I just got done doing is I actually talked about pallet wood, how you can pick the right pallet wood and an easy way to break it down. So go check out that. It's my last video. And now with that pallet wood, I'm actually doing a project I'm going to upload next week for you. A very simple project.
Cool. You wouldn't be getting ready for that pallet wood challenge, would you?
I actually got a lot of pallet board, so yeah, I might be getting ready for it.
Okay.
You know.
I'm sorry, Crystal, but you might as well go ahead and back out because you know I'm going to win again.
I think you need to retire while you're on top.
My computer just glitched out for a second, so I was like, "Oh crap! I hope this thing ain't going down as far as the whole show's going down." But it came
Anybody
back.
hear Russ? I can't hear Russ anymore.
Can't hear me.
I'm just joking.
Come on,
That's good.
Al. Next time I see you, I'm beat the crap out of you. Anyway, so yeah, let's get over here and get started on scrolling. I don't know. I'm having such a good time. It's like I don't want to scroll, but I guess I will. But I'm going to have to change the camera position from here to over here. So I'm going to shut the camera off for a few seconds so y'all don't get seasick on the ride over. So let me go ahead and do that.
Can anybody see Russ? I can't see him anymore.
No, I can't see him.
Well, I don't think you are going to be able to see me.
Well,
Till I get the camera plugged in.
Bella wanted to get up in the picture. Yeah.
Does anybody see Al? I don't see Al no more.
His hair looks like Donald Trump's hair.
The picture was this picture's improved dramatically.
That was priceless right there.
But I think his picture of him has improved immensely.
Yeah, that was priceless.
That's a good look for you, Al.
All right, guys. How you doing, guys?
There you go.
Making woodworking great again.
All right, we'll try this camera position for a little bit. Let's get the lights and stuff turned on. Vacuum system. Boy, that thing is like... All right, so in this pattern, let me explain something to you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work. I usually try to work from the inside out and do the smaller pieces first. So obviously in this pattern, the smaller pieces are these letters. ISLOVE is love. Those are some of the smaller pieces right off the bat. So we're going to work on them first and get them going.
Question before you start, I see some of those pieces are going to fall completely out when you cut them. So are you going to be using a backer?
Do what now? I can't hardly hear. Hold on, let me turn up the volume over here so I can kind of hear you a little bit better since I've turned everything out. All right, go ahead.
Okay, some of those pieces are going to fall completely out when you cut them, like the middle of that O. So are you going to be using a backer or what?
How do you figure?
Well, look at the middle of that O. After you cut out the dark area on that O, that white part is going to completely fall out. So when you put it all back together, you're going to use a backer to keep it in the middle?
No, because it's going to be, it should be bridged.
Nope, it's not.
Well, I guess what? We're going to find out.
Oh, the center will fall out.
We're going to find out.
Wait, I cut that first now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Cut it first. And then you can break it off.
It should be an on-the-fly design change.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right, first off, I'm cutting out the black or the dark stuff. Now, you talking about this little O?
No,
Right
yeah, the little O, right there where your finger is. As soon as you cut it, the white part is going to fall completely out. And also that dark part.
Okay. It hopefully will not, because its bridge is this.
Okay.
What's
But
going to
you're
hold
cutting the darkness out.
Yeah, I'm cutting out the dark, and I'm cutting out the dark. So this white line that goes around this dark will hopefully be enough to bridge that white and keep it in there.
Yeah, but what's going to be
now? How is the inside of that O going to be left on the rest of it? Yeah, how's that going to be left on there?
This part here?
No. Everybody sees it but you, Russ. Okay, point to the middle of that white. Point to the middle.
This part right here. This part right here.
That's fall completely out when you cut the black out of the O.
No, it's not, because it is bridged by this. This white is continuous from here all the way around to hold
I did see what Shane is saying, though. But when you cut the dark around that part, it's not bridged, and then it'll fall out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see what he's saying.
Let him cut it, and he'll figure it out as he's going.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think I'm having to agree with him. It's one of those.
Well, it can be a first. He can show us how to glue back in a floater.
I agree with Shane also.
Yeah, all right, we'll go ahead. Oh, let's go ahead.
Yes.
We'll go ahead and do this.
Do the O, Russ. Do the O.
We'll go ahead and do this.
Folks, this is why you come here, because this happens in a real life situation to every one of us all the time.
Yep.
I mean, I call these patterns that I design word on word. Okay, because you're putting one word over the other. And I don't have my glasses on, so I'm trying to find this stupid hole in the back.
I could say something, but mine's already hit me, so I better not.
Shane.
Yes.
I know exactly.
We ought to record this and then replay it for Scrolling with Russ on Wednesday night.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna go. Shane, just he's got me so damn confused.
Okay.
We're gonna try this and see what happens.
Who out there in the chat thinks that Shane is right, and who thinks that Russ is right? So just put Shane or Russ.
I personally, I believe that Russ is right. I think I saw enough of that where I think it's okay.
I'm gonna say Shane too, because I've already admitted that Shane is the one that I'm thinking is correct.
John, you already have your panel spot. You don't have to suck up.
I'm Team Shane also.
I want to know where Jim Bashir's is at.
I see it.
Let me go back and look. Yeah, Jim, you've got the link, Jim.
Oh, I've got a lot of supporters. Thank y'all.
He had I think he was on his phone, so he might have not been able to get on.
Yeah, he was on the phone. He was on the road.
Yeah.
I got to try those blades. That's smooth.
Is that a
sometimes it takes me a second when I'm cutting this, because I just designed this pattern. I'm talking about I drew this pattern in like a little over an hour. So sometimes when I'm designing these things, I do find, that's the reason I say, everybody always goes, I tell everybody I have to cut them first,
Right.
especially if it's a new design, before I will put it out there to make sure that it cuts. Because I find mistakes myself.
You need to lock the camera on yourself so that we can see the true outcome.
Yeah, so I threw this together this afternoon. Give me a second. I'm having a hard time.
Okay, Jim Bashir says, yeah, I'm still in the car, almost home. No problem, Jim. Just mentioning it.
A little bit, Jim.
Hey, Matt. Awesome. How you doing?
Matt.
Well, guess what?
Oh, dang.
What?
He broke a blade.
Broke blade. Yeah. We've made him so flustered.
Yeah, we did.
I think it's just a ploy not to cut that so that Shane...
No, but I think I see what you're talking about, though.
Uh-oh.
Once I'm about to start cutting it. Now I see what you're talking about.
Oh, that Shane guy's got a good eye.
Yeah.
Good job, Shane.
Yeah.
That's it. Make a bridge.
Should have been at $5.
Yeah, just try to get away from the issue, Brian, for sure.
Little up. Okay, right there.
Yeah.
So there are my bridges.
Yeah.
Now good there, yes.
Yeah, that was there the whole time. Didn't you see that, Shane?
Right. That was Shane, I don't know what you're talking about, Shane.
Yeah, I'm switching.
I just want to call controversy.
This is supposed to be a PG-13 show, but I could really tell all y'all to kiss where the sun don't shine.
Okay, Flo. Okay.
No, I did not see. Now when I went to cut that, that's why I said, well, let's cut this first, so I can see what you're talking about, because I couldn't see it. But then once I started cutting that, then I went like, oh, I see what he's talking about.
That was really good catch, Shane. Really good eye.
Thank you.
And I want to tell you, what's funny about that is Shane don't really even scroll.
No, not really. I probably scrolled saw maybe 5 things in my entire life.
Right. So for you to catch that, that's pretty good.
Thank you. But it just goes to prove more eyes to looking at your project is better. Even before I make, when I do my video, before I upload to YouTube, I have Mom watch it to catch any flaws I make, and I watch hers too to catch flaws.
I usually close one eye and watch it, and then close the other eye and watch it with the other eye.
Oh, there you go.
Just trying to fill in for Russ there.
I kind of wanted to see the O drop out, but
Yeah, well,
I know.
they ruined that for everybody.
The New Year's globe, that thing that falls,
I would have never let the O fall out. Well, Dad, burn it. I'm having all kinds of trouble tonight.
What do you think of that new scroll saw, Russ?
I love it.
Is it really that hard putting a new blade in, or are you just having trouble tonight?
No, I'm having problems tonight. And the reason I'm having problems tonight is because...
You're right, James Parker. And
Shane got me so flustered now that I don't know what the hell to do.
That's what I
what he
was
said
thinking.
was Russ got quiet all of a sudden. Number 3 blade.
No, this is the number 1.
Number 1, Dennis Goodson.
And Matt, yeah, go ahead. We can do it.
We'll watch your videos. We got nothing else going on around
Yeah.
here. We can watch everybody's videos.
Yeah, Matt Haas has just offered Shane and Shelley Cole a full-time job in his empire, doing pre-watching videos.
Yeah.
Proofing, copy proofing, I guess.
Do what now?
I have to go to Matt's house to watch it, though.
Yeah.
Hey, Shelley, while we're waiting, why don't you tell us about Sawdusto?
Well, Kate here on the panel had a question earlier on. She said, "Can Sawdusto float?" Because Shane wants to build a little boat. And you know, the answer, I really don't have an answer, but I kind of think it might float a little bit, but then it's going to sink or fall apart because it's made out of sawdust. And my glue is not waterproof. It's slightly water resistant because you can put your project into water for half a second or two or a little longer, and it's not going to like fall apart, you know, blah. But water can ruin your project. Absolutely.
Well, yeah,
so.
do is put some fiberglass over it.
Yeah, you can fiberglass over it.
Yeah, maybe put fiberglass over it. But
Well, I am actually going to test that water theory, though, because I think it was Jamie Page challenged me to make a boat out of Sawdusto. Now, obviously, I'm not going to make a full-size boat, but I will make a small boat, and we're going to see if it'll float.
Cool.
better put some shellac on it or some kind of sealer or something.
If it'll float, I'm going to keep it floating all night long and come back and look at it the next day and see what it looks like.
Yeah, Shane, I was thinking, you could find this out. You could all build a section of your boat and ship it to you. You can assemble it.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, I'll build one part. Al will 3D print another part, so you get that in about 6 months.
Well, at this point, 3D printing the part is not an option. Okay. Have you seen the Enterprise the way it came out?
Go back some.
Go back some.
Have you seen that?
Oh, man.
Oh, your dog's gonna eat it.
Don't eat it.
So that's after the Klingons got done with it.
I mean, yeah, it's like, look.
Is that the saucer section?
Yeah, it started to print the saucer, and it's doing it right in the air, and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
But I printed a Borg cube. Be quiet,
Yeah.
Katie. I printed a Borg cube.
That's pretty neat.
All right, we're going to get back to me scrolling.
You want me to get the mistakes on there?
Hey, Russ, did you finish putting the blade on?
Yeah, I got it on there.
Okay.
There we go.
All
You know,
right.
like a spider does.
Okay.
Do you need Steve Good to come in and tell you how to put the blade in?
This is where Shane was talking about that I didn't understand until after I started cutting this first piece. Then I was able to see and realize what he was talking about. And that is, if I was to cut this circle completely out, this part of the white would not stay in there, which I wanted to stay in there. So here's what I'm going to do to solve that, since I didn't have it drawn in there. I just come down to this point right here and stop, and I'll make a bridge. That's the reason I drew those dark lines in there. And I'll just come up the other side.
Well, you follow that line perfectly.
And I will get to this point here and do the same thing.
He's good.
There will be my bridge.
Or is it the scroll saw he's using?
Mm-hmm.
I will just come down here.
Almost like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
And
You think you've done this before?
take that piece out. Now what I'm going to have to do is, since I was not prepared for making that bridge, is I'm going to have to use, and I got my handy dandy drill sitting over here with my bit already in it, and I'm going to have to make a hole on that other side of that O.
My ears.
in order to cut that other side out. Well, like I said, this is when you put a scroll saw project together sometimes real fast, which I did this afternoon. I was going to do that other clock, which I knew it was correct, but I was like, it's Mother's Day. I need to do a Mother's Day pattern.
Agreed.
So I decided, you know, I'll throw up a Mother's Day pattern. So I went in and got this put together, and you don't have time to proof these things. When you start at 3 o'clock and the show's going to be at 8, and it takes you like 2 hours to do this. So, but now I'll go around and cut this side. Now I'll stop at this point here. And come here. And then come around.
Wait.
And that will leave the center part.
Do you have this blue, Russ?
That will leave the center part of that. And the white did not fall out.
Nope.
Oh,
How pretty. Very good.
Nice, nice.
are you using a spiral blade?
No,
Okay.
I don't walk on the dirt side. No, I use spiral blades when they're necessary, like if I'm doing a portrait or whatever. This is a #1 R modified geometry from Pegasus. But yeah, I'll use spiral blades. This is not required for a spiral. Matter of fact, you can cut this 10 times better and more precise with a flat blade than you can with a spiral blade.
Yeah, I need to start cutting with flat blades because all I really ever use is spirals.
And then on top of that, if you look at some of the people that are cutting, like I watched Miter Mike, which is he's scroll saw Mike, cut out a project the other day using spirals. Did you notice all the fuzzies on that sucker? I mean, because a spiral blade doesn't make a clean cut. On one side, on the back side, it usually leaves a lot of what I call fuzzies that you've got to get in there and stand out. And I don't care if it's a reverse spiral, you still have a lot of fuzzies that you got to get in there and clean out. So,
hey, Russ, Brian Warner out in the chat wants to know about your foot switch, whether it's variable speed or just on and off.
It's just on and off, but it's not it's the one where I press it and it goes on, which is on now. And if I release my foot off of it, it goes off. So in other words, I don't tap it and it goes on, and tap and it goes off. I think it's called a dead man switch.
I got a real inexpensive one at Harbor Freight, and it works pretty good. I mean, it
actually the one I'm using, and I have 2 more of them, are all from Harbor Freight, and they're fine.
Yeah, they're under, I think under $20. I think it was like either 14 or 18. I can't remember, but
yeah, you can get the ones from Harbor Freight. Don't pay the big bucks. I've been using this one that I have on here from Harbor Freight. I think for 5-6 years, maybe longer than that, and I've never had a problem. Yeah, don't spend those big bucks to.
Yeah, for that, anyway. Yeah.
I am so addicted to it, though, that when I go to Rockler to teach classes, and I forget if I forget the foot switch, I am absolutely lost.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian says he has several of those foot switches, and they work really good on a small lathe.
I've never, my lathe's 220, so I couldn't use them.
Yeah, Michelle Marcoux says, dead man switch.
Yeah.
I never thought about using one of those on a lathe.
Yeah, I never either, but that makes lots of sense. Really, you could use it on a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you could use it on a lot of different things because it's not variable speed.
Yeah.
So you don't want to use a variable speed switch with a motor like on this because it'll burn the motor up.
Welcome, Jim Bashirs.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Jim.
The comedic relief has arrived.
Indeed. Although you'll have to do some catching up.
Yeah, no, I was monitoring on channel 2 there. So I gotta ask, did the big conspiracy with the O get settled?
Yeah,
while I was coming into the house.
2 bridges in because he realized that Shane was correct after all.
Okay.
Hey, I never said Shane was wrong. I said I didn't know what he was talking about.
Correct.
Shane, those are bass boat points, man.
Sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees.
Yep.
So I didn't think he was wrong, but I didn't understand what he was talking about until I made that first cut. And then I went, oh, I see, said the blind man.
And Dixon Hoffman says back on those switch things, as long as they can handle the current. So if you do use a dead man switch, make sure that it's rated for the, that the item that you're running doesn't do 15 amps and it'll only handle 10.
Yes,
it'll be a dead footman hot switch.
You need to look at the amperage of whatever you're running. For instance, this scroll saw here probably only runs off about 15 amps, or a normal household current, which is about 20 amps on an outlet. And this dead man switch will handle that. But now, if you're going to be drawing like a microwave oven that might draw a whole lot more current or whatever, I don't know if that would be wise to use it. So make sure you look at what tool you're using, how many amps it's rated at, and then how many amps the actual foot switch is rated at. As long as they're within reason of each other, everything will be fine.
I know my DeWalt only draws 4.3 amps, so.
Yeah, I think when it first starts up, it's rated at something like 15 amps. But I know if I'm not mistaken, I think you're right, because I think the little fuse that's in the side of it is only a 4 amp fuse.
Yeah.
Michelle, are you correcting me on how I'm speaking? Are you?
Your table saw and stuff like that, they're going to draw a lot more.
I've been reversing things a lot lately. In other words, somewhat like reversing things a lot I have been lately.
Now, I don't think there's any way in the world I'm going to get this cut out tonight.
We got 6 minutes.
Till 9 o'clock? Yeah, I'm not going to get this thing cut out in 6 minutes. I can assure you of that.
Fast forward.
Are you gonna blame it on the panel heckling you?
I'm going to blame it on Shane for taking so long to build those bridges.
You don't have a sample one already?
Hey, Russ.
If he'd have left me alone, everything would have been fine. But no, he had to point it out, didn't he? Wait till he has a live show and I'm on it.
Hey, Russ. James Parker asks, do you remember a man named Dirk Bowman?
Not off the top of my head.
Dirk and Karen Bowman, yeah.
Oh, Dirk Bowman. Yeah, he was a scroll saw that made. Yes, I know who you're talking about now.
He's no longer
I
with
should
us.
have bid you $5, Russ.
Yeah, he passed away from cancer, if I'm not mistaken, several years ago. I never got the chance to meet him, but I know exactly who you're talking about. He had a beard and was really a nice guy from everybody that I have talked to that has met him and knew him.
By the way, Michelle, Marku, no problem. Because I probably am.
And a hush comes over the crowd.
Well, I'm trying to catch up on the chat room here.
Yep. Michelle, correctement moi.
You're doing a great job, Russell.
Thank you.
In fact, you always do, Russ.
What are you trying to do? Suck up?
Yeah, I know who Santa. You don't. I know.
She wants to bridge that gap between her and.
Yes.
She wants to bridge that gap between her and Shane.
Hey, Shelly. Hey, Shelly. You see? Hey, Shelly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Russ, he's my husband. What can I say?
Forgive him.
Well, to be honest with you, Russ, I think if you cut that E out, I think it's going to fall out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, the E will fall out.
I want the E to fall out.
I think he wants it to fall out, Shane.
I want to know why you took that blade off of there. Why didn't you just go from the V to the E?
Because I'm going to go back and change. I want a gap in between there. I don't want it all one word.
Oh,
so
okay.
I will go back and change.
Put a bridge in there?
No, I won't put a bridge. It's just I'm not going to cut this E. See how the end of this E is flat?
Yep.
And how the end of this E hangs out?
Yep.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come down and I'm going to cut this E flat, like the top part, and eliminate that.
Oh, gotcha.
So when I go back to redo the pattern, I'll take that piece out. When I put Shane's bridges in here for him.
Shane,
I still think it's going to fall out if you don't bridge it.
Shane, if you just be quiet, we could hear him really cuss you in a few minutes.
See, y'all, this is what I have to deal with all the time.
Shane is so special.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Did you say spatial? Did you say spatial?
Y'all missed what I was writing over there. Y'all didn't even see it.
Yeah.
No, nobody saw that, Russ.
No.
No, Russ. We
He's
saw
going to remember me at Christmas time.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
But yeah, so I'm going to eliminate that, and the pattern that I will produce for it that goes out, it will do like this. That won't be even on there. That's what I said. I didn't have a chance to proof this pattern, so to speak. I put it out there fairly quick, but I wanted to, I wanted to get it out there because I know that there's each year I try to produce a couple of patterns for Mother's Day.
yes,
At least one.
Foiled.
At least one, so.
Russ, Matt says the typeface police are going to come and get you for serif assassination. Shame on you.
Helpless serifs.
Helpless serifs.
Sounds like a song. Help me, Sarah. Help me, Sarah.
Be a good band name.
Helpless serifs.
The helpless serifs.
Well, at least you didn't shoot the sheriff.
No, but they didn't shoot the deputy.
just like that little video that Matt Haas did a while back, and it was comma, 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 chameleon. Yeah.
That was my mom's favorite song of Boy George. She sung that all the time.
I think Matt did too, right, Matt? I think he did something like I don't know, like an 80s band music, rock something or other. It wasn't, but anyway, it was a lesson.
Yeah, that's actually from Boy George, Karma Chameleon.
Yeah, correct.
Change the words.
Now, if you're wondering what I'm doing here, that blade left kind of a ridge the way I did it. I'm taking that ridge off.
Is that like a 300 grit blade?
Well, I can take it off with the blade, or I can come back in with a file, and it's really a lot easier for me to just come back in with a file or a blade and take care of it at that point. Okay, so let's go over here and start working on I want to try to get as much of this, the letters at least cut out so you can see what that's going to look like. Whoop.
I know if you're watching the clock, it's 9:02.
We'll push it to 9:30 as long as we've got quite a few people watching us. So we'll push it till 9:30, and then we'll decide at that point where we go. Because to be honest with you, I've been working on. I didn't work on the roof today because we had forecast for rain. So Thursday and Friday I was on the roof all day. So my butt was dragging when I came in at night.
Still got 31. 31.
I think I'm not going to let Shane back on the show anymore.
I should have better do $5 and get my money back.
He jinxed me because I'm having all kinds of problems.
Jelly's already had to mute the mic several times to talk with him.
I think you ought to go ahead and send me that scroll saw. Let me see if I can do any good with it.
Jelly's in her shaking her head.
I'm thinking of the show after the show, and I wouldn't want to be Shane.
Right.
I'm wondering if I can actually sell that for a bass boat.
Oh, funny.
By the way, thank you, Dixon Hoffman. I had moved the camera down when I was petting Bella, and then I forgot. So it wasn't cute anymore, I guess.
You know, the success of a person that does scroll sawing, you know how you can tell the difference between, I would call, a professional and a non-professional or an amateur?
How?
Gets paid?
No, to me, a professional scroll sawer is when you look at his patterns and that he is cut, and you cannot figure out where the blade went in and started or where the blade ended. On an amateur, you can tell every time.
I try not to have the drill holes
You
visible.
mean like that hole right there?
The drill hole that goes in the wood.
Yep.
It depends on where they drill them for number one. Amateur will make a mistake and drill the hole along the line. But you've got to look at the size of this piece right here.
Oh, yeah.
Before I drilled the hole, why in the heck would you drill it up next to the line?
Actually, that's a no-brainer, Russ. But
I know. Well, you say that, but I have seen so many people
Yeah, it's the thin ones.
They're wanting to start the blade right there on that line, so they think by drilling the hole right there, the blade's already there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. The few scroll saw projects I've done, it actually looked like I done it with the jigsaw.
But yeah, so that's one of the ways I look. If I can look at a project and I can't tell where the heck.
Mine looked like I did them with a drywall.
I'm starting to get some vibration on this piece. So I'm going to have to be very, very, very careful here. I'm having to put my finger right up next to the blade.
Yeah.
And when I make the turn, I'm having to give me plenty of leeway so the blade doesn't get in a bind. You see me just work that hole in that corner.
Well, that's a good question then, Russ. If let's say you're doing a bunch of little bitty pieces right there, how would you hold them in without breaking them? Would you tape it or what?
To be honest with you, I couldn't hear a word you said right at that moment because I'm concentrating on keeping this thing.
Okay. I'll ask you later.
All right. But now I'm going to hold my finger here, and I've watered a hole out here for the blade to not have any bind or whatever where I can come across and cut this out. That is very, very important because if I whipped around that corner and didn't leave, you can see the whole piece moving. If I whipped around that corner and didn't do that, give that blade plenty of room, that right there, my friends, look how small that is. That would have broke off. Yeah, that's some pretty small stuff right there.
Okay, I don't want to be that guy, but I think you missed a hole.
Yeah, I missed the hole right here. Why do you think I said I had my handy dandy drill sitting over here behind me?
Well, I know why I would have had it sitting because I missed half the holes. But.
Yeah, me too. I have my little drill bit like that tucked up in the drill too. Yeah, I think.
What hole did you say I missed? Where?
You know what? I must have been mistaken.
Yeah. I was going to say Dixon Hoffman saw it too, but he must have been mistaken too.
There's always that guy.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't want to be that guy, but somebody's going to start the heckling. It might as well be me. Did you miss one over there?
Now this piece here, if I can find a place to put the blade.
If you were a top beater, you wouldn't be having that problem.
If I was what?
A top beater.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. We need to, everyone in the panel kind of start saying stuff so that the heat goes off of Shane and me, and
Yeah, I need to learn. But you know what? If you've been scrolling for 30 damn years, it's not easy to learn how to top feed.
Oh, it was a real easy transition.
Dixon Hoffman said a professional is how many hecklers he can handle.
Yeah. I got a whole house full tonight. So.
Just from looking at it, I think it would be a lot harder to top feed.
As of next show, I think I can eliminate a whole heap of bunch of them.
Yeah, I was going to say a whole panel full.
It'll be like a Twitch show next week.
Yeah, he's going to be putting out on Facebook looking for new panel members.
Yep. Tune in next week for the new
call for members.
Yeah, I'll go back to making enterprises, okay?
I don't think you can take it all out on now, though.
You didn't see it, did you? You didn't see it, did you? Look at that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, here's another thing let me point out into this part right here is when I come up to this corner, because this is so flimsy, you're going to see me, I'll go back and forth, and I'm going to work my blade back and forth, and I'm actually going to open up a little hole so that when I turn my blade, there's plenty of area. See, there was no shaking or anything else where that blade had plenty of room to turn around. So now I can come right on around here.
Hey, Ken Moon just popped in.
Take my time. Once again, I'm going to open up this hole. I'm going to take the blade and move it back and forth. And I'm going to open up a hole big enough so that when I turn my blade, it has plenty of time to spin around and I can come down here and cut this out.
Your S actually looks pretty darn good.
Yeah.
I know it does.
You shouldn't be talking about his butt like that.
Said S.
I know my S
Oh my
looks
gosh.
pretty doggone good.
Oh my goodness.
Way to go, Katie.
Katie.
Can't believe I didn't get that one.
That's a good catcher, Katie.
Looks good.
Don't tell your wife I said that. No.
She's probably watching live, right?
Oh boy.
I'm not trying to hit on Santa Claus, y'all, just to clarify.
Well, if you were going to, it wouldn't start to be the best.
All right, now on this one, I'm pretty well free reined. This is big enough I don't have to worry about
do you think you would have that problem with the flimsy parts in a hardwood as well, or just you figure it's just because it's pine?
do what now?
The flimsy parts there, you're having to slow down around, and you know, your S and your L there. You think
I
you
would
would
have
have
them
that
in-
problem with a hardwood?
Yeah, it would as thin as those are, even a hardwood would give me a problem. Yeah, those are less than an eighth of an inch. I mean, they're like half of an eighth. What would be like 2/16?
Would a different font have helped? Like,
No, that's
You
one.
can use-
Rush, where did you learn math at?
You can use different fonts.
I was waiting.
It's just these are the fonts that I chose to use for this. I mean, you're not set on a specific fonts, and yes, some fonts are harder to cut than the others. I don't judge it by how hard the font is to cut. I judge it by what it looks like.
I remember somebody saying on another show, I think it was, that if you use Comic Sans on everything, that would make it all better.
Yeah, and then you get shot by everybody. Russ, are you using spiral blades or straight?
No, it's not a spiral blade.
Okay. There you go, Ken. I sacrificed myself for you, Ken. I hope you remember that.
Took one for the team.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
My boy Ken.
that Ken is such a troublemaker. Hope you're feeling better, Ken.
I think he is if he could ask a question like that.
I think he was just egging you on to ask it for you. He probably PM'd you through Facebook. Say, here, ask this.
No, he dumped that right in the chat.
Oh, man. Yeah.
We need background music here.
What is somebody left the chat? Oh, Shelly and Shane. Oh, Shane.
Up there.
Yeah. Brian Warner says you make it look easy with a scroll saw, Russ.
I would hope by now, after 30 years of scrolling, that I have learned something.
I don't know.
good though.
I'm going to add this in, Brian Warner, but can you do it with a chainsaw too? It's not exactly how he asked it, but that's.
I knew I should have cut that off up there. It is in a bind.
Could save it and just make a puzzle out of it.
Or just break it off and put the angle on it.
Yeah, you had a video on how to fix stuff that you break.
Yeah.
You know, Russ, this is an excellent example of what every one of us runs into all the time.
Yep.
Come on,
That
get down.
is so thin. Look at that. Jeez.
There you go. Good girl.
How's Bella doing?
She's doing a lot better, Katie. Thank you. Yeah, that evening after they gave her the.
All right, we're going to go for
Good, thank you.
the finishing up the O and the M, and then I want to take a break and we'll talk about where we go from there.
John, I usually put 0.062, but you're right. The 16th of an inch is 0.06125. I can't count that low though.
You math geeks. All right.
Brenda, start.
Just freeze up. He's frozen.
All Matt sees is the missing serif on the E.
Yeah, Matt has a serif issue.
Yeah.
I think Russ froze up.
Yep, he has.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, you've got a serious serif situation there.
Matt, there's a 12-step group for that
Yeah.
you can go to. And they'll help you out quite a bit.
It's just a silly thereop.
I think we lost Russ.
Yeah.
There's a. I think he left actually because of us.
He went to get the finished piece.
Well, at least
Pulls it out of
you
the.
can't blame me for this one. I didn't do this mistake.
No, Shane. Shelley gave you a good tongue lashing. You learned your lesson. You stopped.
He
I
probably
think-
froze on purpose because he's got a finished one off camera and he's going to bring it.
You would do that like the cooking shows. They have the souffle is already done on the side. So,
Okay,
now he's
folks.
gone.
So what do you guys want to see now?
I want to see your 3D printer.
Oh, can't do that.
Now he's
Matt,
gone.
Okay, there you go.
he left. He left.
And my favorite stuff for 3D printing,
Hey.
Aquanet.
You know what I
Aquanet,
used today?
that's old
Yeah.
hairspray.
What's that? Sorry.
I used 3M number 77. Uh-oh. I bet that's Russ.
Yeah.
Yep. That's Russ Clarity.
Put him on speaker. Put him on speaker.
Lightning took out their power, so okay.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I guess
Oh God, we're on our own.
yeah. Katie says, "Oh God, we're on our own."
Hey, does that mean we can talk bad about him?
So you have no
Yeah.
power.
Katie's heart just skipped a beat or two.
Well, yeah. We everyone is still here. Yes. So
And we're still alive.
It was
do you want me to
so
send you the link back or?
Shane, did you see Ken's got your shirt on?
Ken,
Yeah, he has the internet as of right now. So
he told me it was too small.
going on over the
Yeah,
chat.
power-
You have to get back in within 3 minutes, Al, or the show will shut down by itself.
okay. Well, he says
Oh,
Brenda said you have to get back in
Debbie.
in 3 minutes or the show will shut itself down. Indeed. Got bad thunderstorms in the area.
I'm just afraid of who's going to be singing at the end. That's all I'm worried
Lightning,
about.
power and the internet. So Russ will probably not be able to make it back in.
Okay.
Hey, can we start spreading some bad rumors about Russ?
I thought we already
Absolutely.
did. I'm still concerned about that.
You want to stand with
1/8 being 216.
Okay, and then that way, if you
And this
can't,
is a guy that used to build houses.
then it'll go away, I guess, or whatever. Oh, never mind.
Kenny.
You just got in your spot, so you can't get in now.
I love this shirt.
Thank you, buddy.
Ken, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Ken's
5,
here now.
7, 8, 9.
Still got
How
one.
many can be on the panel? 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you would be 10. So
I lost enough weight, Shane, so I can wear it now.
there's 9 on the panel.
What a
You're
motivation.
Thank you. You look good in it.
You should see. Okay, no internet connection yet. That's an awesome shirt, though, that Ken's got on. I mean, that rocks.
So
Yes,
much
it
you
is.
can see it. It looks great.
Yeah.
Can't see it. All I see is gray.
It's one of the prizes in the Sawdust Awareness Challenge, too.
Yeah, I'm giving another one of those shirts away.
So now they're shamelessly self-advertising. I mean, they're talking about the shirt in the giveaway.
And the best part, looks like the camera is locked on us. So
It is.
Is it locked on us?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's
No.
not. I just
It is.
and there's Chris. Hey,
Oh, here
Russ,
he comes.
just joined the video.
There
I
he
just
comes.
checked the feed.
Awesome.
Yep, and it is locked on Shane and Shelly.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Shane.
Awesome.
yeah, buddy.
He's back.
Welcome back, Russ.
Welcome back.
Yeah, we're gonna call it night. I was sitting here and y'all couldn't hear it, but it was like boom, and the lights flickered and went out. So anyway, this is what we've got.
That's up,
Nice.
It's upside down.
Flip it.
could have been wow.
It's inside out now.
You can flip it around backwards. It'll still say mom.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Looks good.
doesn't really matter what side you put it on the back.
It's where the sun does not shine, and it's not my armpits.
Does it have anything to do with the letter S?
Anyway, that's what we got accomplished tonight. I wanted to get the rest of the O and the M, but I don't. I mean, I was looking at the radar here, so I don't know that we're going to be able to do it.